The wheel of time turns, and ages come and pass, leaving memories that become legend. Legends fade to myth, and even myth is long forgotten when the age that gave it birth comes again. In one age, called the Third Age by some, an age yet to come, an age long past, a wind rose across a small village. The wind was not the beginning. There are neither beginnings or endings to the turning of the wheel of time, but it was a beginning. Opening line for Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time. Hi, hello, and welcome again everyone to another episode of Natural Juan. This time around we're going to discuss the famous book series and upcoming TV show Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan, an epic comprised of 14 books, 15 if you include the prequel, and more than a few guidebooks. Wheel of Time is known for the great scope, depth, and thickness of its books. As a matter of fact, for the longest time, before a devastating flood hit my home in 2013 and destroyed most of my solid books, I used the books as glorified paperweights on my study table. Anyway, before we continue, I'd like to invite you all to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell for notifications if you'd like more content like this. Wheel of Time is a long series of books, each of which is around 1,000 pages long. Its core theme is that of eternal recurrence and reincarnation, the idea that what we have now will be gone and forgotten, and that what was once lost to time will come again, that many of the people we know and love will come and go as time continues, but they will always return in one form or another. Most of all, though, the series focuses on a man who bears the title of the Dragon, an esoteric rank that signifies him as both savior and destroyer to mankind. Throughout time, this man has taken up many lives and identities, from that of a great king, a genius scientist, to a common soldier. But always, his purpose remains the same. He is a warrior brought forth by the Creator, which some interpret as God, to challenge and hopefully subdue the entity known as the Dark One, which is a clear analog to the devil. But even if the dragon is perceived to be a hero or savior, there are also many prophecies that state he will bring about untold destruction. In the first book, Eye of the World, we are introduced to a young man heavily hinted to be the Dragon Reborn, the savior of mankind in the current age. His name is Rand al'Thor, and lives the life of a simple farmer's son along with his friends in a small village called the Two Rivers. While things begin simple enough, things start to change when the Two Rivers comes under attack by horrid creatures known as Trollocs, half-man, half-animal monsters, all led by a Murdral, a faceless humanoid mutant. Needless to say, things start rolling down here from there for everyone, and this is exactly when the adventure begins. For a little more context, Rand al'Thor seems to be just your average guy at first. He's perfectly happy in the Two Rivers along with his father, Tam al'Thor, and even shows hints of being bored with life. After all, in a small community like the Two Rivers, most people live off the land as best they can, and barring sickness or the rare occasion of violence, die in their old age. This all changes when strangers come to town who show interest in the young people of the Two Rivers. These people are Moiraine Damodred, an Aes Sedai or wizard, and Lan Mandragoran, a warder, which actually means he's a bodyguard to the former. The two have come to the village to see if any of them show any affinity to channel, which means doing magic in the setting. Aes Sedai, the official organization of wizards in the world, actually do this regularly for two very important reasons. One is because they constantly search for female recruits for the White Tower, which serves as their headquarters. The other is to locate and neutralize male wizards, since most male wizards are driven insane because of a curse and end up destroying everything around them. The people of the Two Rivers look upon the newcomers with awe and foreboding, as while they often serve the purpose of good, they tend to take daughters away whether said daughter or her family likes it or not, and the male wizards they neutralize often end up committing suicide. In any case, while most of the people in the Two Rivers see the newcomers with mistrust, there are still those who are curious about them. One of them, of course, is our hero, Rand al'Thor, and there are his friends, Matrim Cauthon, Perrin Aybara, Nynaeve Almira, and Egwene Alvear. Matrim, Matt Cauthon, serves as the trickster of the group and has been responsible for more than one occasion of panic and hysteria in the Two Rivers. Perrin Ibarra can be thought of as the big guy of the group, being a local blacksmith, and isn't one to talk too much, but usually knows more than he's letting on. Nynaeve Almira is the sassy girl in the group, and actually knows a thing or two about magic, especially when it comes to healing. Egwene Alvir is the mild-mannered blacksmith's daughter, and is noted to be one of the prettiest girls in the village. Needless to say, none of them have any idea of the kind of adventures they'll be thrown into later on in The Eye of the World and all the other books that follow. Anyway, before I tell any more spoilers, here's just a little more about the kind of magic present in the setting. The One Power is comprised of two halves, which are saidin and saidar. Saidin is considered the male half of the One Power and can only be wielded by men. According to one character in later books, I won't tell you who, using saidin is like trying to tame a wild animal and can only be controlled using one's will. Unfortunately for male channelers or wizards in the setting, saidin has been tainted or cursed by the Dark One. This is why all male channelers go destructively insane once they discover their powers, resulting in Aes Sedai, the organization of female wizards, to hunt them down and neutralize their powers. Now saidar is the female half of the One Power and can only be wielded by women. Saidar is different from saidin in that female channelers must coax it into coming to them, much like making an animal approach one using food. For centuries, only female Aes Sedai remain because they are constantly on guard against male channelers who have the potential for massive destruction. Unfortunately, when the story begins, the remaining Aes Sedai are in decline, and less women have been found to have any affinity for the One Power. Another thing to note is that of the enemies the heroes are facing. While he may seem like your stereotypical Dark Lord, the Dark One was never human in the first place. It is believed that he has existed even before the universe was created and is less a character and more like the sentient force of evil. His servants are countless. There are, as mentioned, his Trollocs, which are monsters created to have both the features of humans and animals. Actually, being a Warhammer fan myself, the Trollocs kind of remind me of the Beastmen, being abominable amalgamations of man and beast. Then there are the Myrddraal, which are bred from Trollocs but are more human-like. Instead of bearing bestial features, Myrddraal lack eyes, ears, or noses, and only have black lip mouths. While few in number and seemingly weaker than Trollocs, they are very important among the Dark One's forces as they serve as their commanders. In the field, they wear black hooded cloaks to hide their humanity, and in battle, they wield either poisoned blades or devastating black magic. More numerous than either Trollocs or Myrddraal are Dark Friends, human cultists who have sworn themselves to the Dark One in exchange for great power. However, greater than all these servants of the Dark One are the Forsaken, extremely powerful sorcerers from a bygone age who some, especially Dark Friends, consider to be gods in their own right. There are many other things of interest in the world of Wheel of Time, but I think that's all I'll reveal for now. After all, the real joy is reading for yourself the work of Robert Jordan. He was, after all, the man who popularized the acronym RAFO, which means Read and Find Out. In any case, I certainly hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did and want more content like this, please feel free to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell for notifications. I'll be seeing you all in the next video.